from Gold Country Run and Sport, we're going to bring to you 4 different max cushion neutral road shoes from Hoka, Asics, New Balance, and Altra. So, the 4 we've got for you today, which are just 4 of the different options out there on the market. There are a lot more on the market. There's a lot more in our stores, but we just grabbed 4 today, and apparently all blue and gray. But we'll start with the the More V4 from New Balance. Full name is the Fresh Foam More version 4. Very light shoe, 10.5 ounces, 34 millimeters in the heel, although I think that might not include the insole, so it could be a few millimeters higher than that. Very plush, very soft. You might think it would be not so stable, but on a treadmill test, my pronation was actually about the same as any of the others in these, and I think that's because you have this big flare at the heel and a lot of flare at the forefoot too, so inherently stable. Some flexibility here for a max cushion shoe. Your Bondi 8 and your Via Olympus are definitely the stiffest of these two. Your Via is probably the stiffest because it has a firmer density foam, so a little more supportive feel. Not as plush and like squishy as the Fresh Foam More from New Balance. Bondi kind of sits in the middle where it is squishy, but it also feels solid. Fits like kind of typical Hokas that you've probably tried recently, other versions of the Bondi, maybe the Clifton. You can get these in a wide and an extra wide. All of these 4 you can get in a wide except for the Via Olympus. Now the Via does have the widest forefoot kind of toe box area of these 4. Still get a good lockdown. Not like a super wide shoe from Altra, but allows it to be supportive. Even for my kind of skinny foot, I can get a good lockdown here pretty easily with a lot of room for my toes. So very nice fit from the Via Olympus. We'll talk a little bit about the Nimbus 25. This actually has the highest heel stack of the 4 of these at 41 millimeters with an 8 mil drop. Probably the most neutral of these 4. I did get a slight amount more pronation in the new Nimbus than I did these other 3, but not by a large margin. You also get probably the widest, or I should say like the most amount of volume for a given foot in this shoe. It was the hardest for me to get really secure for having a narrow foot, so that's probably going to be good news for most people. Everyone's always looking for wider shoes these days, and so step in the right direction from the Nimbus here. Other than that, these 4 shoes, they're all in the 10.5 to 11 ounce range, so you're not going to get any big differences between them in the weight. Stack height's all going to be between 33 to 41 millimeters, so all purely in the max cushion category. Everyone's personal opinion is going to be different trying them on, so definitely recommend coming in, trying on a few you might be interested. We've got them all at Gold Country Run and Sport and others. Get them on your feet and see if any of them are going to work for you.